permit me to hand over the microphone to the Vice Chancellor to deliver his press conference.
Everybody, let me stand on the protocol that have been established at the hour. But I cannot help but recognize the presence of the chairman, NUJ, the president, and the former chairman, and also my good friend, Chief Emore. They are here. ICT. So let's go. Yeah, I thought it fits being my first press conference. I thought it fits that I should at least let the press know about my vision and mission. So that's what I'm going to look at today and what I've done so far. And I want to state emphatically that you, the press, are stakeholders here. And I know many of you are past students of this institution. So I'm glad that you are back to your alma mater in this capacity. So first of all, let's look at the vision of the founding fathers of Delsu. I don't know whether it's projected ICT. Yeah. So the founding fathers, this university was set up in 1992. And the vision of the founding fathers was to promote learning across Delta states and Nigeria in general. And also to offer liberal education to all, regardless of race, creed, or gender. To advance knowledge through teaching and research, and to serve humanity through academic pursuits. These are the dreams of the visions of the founding fathers. And several vice chancellors have come since substantive vice chancellor of Delta State University. And our wish on the achievements, not just on the achievements of past administrations, but also the vision of the founding fathers. And I think that it is pertinent to let you know who the Vice Chancellor is. So my background, I've been a former DVC of this university. I've been the provost of the Asaba campus, which is now defunct, because that place has been upgraded to full-fledged university. I was also Dean of Faculty of Science, HOD of Biochemistry, and I've been a professor of biochemistry for 14 years. Specialization is environmental biochemistry and toxicology. Therapeutic publications in both local and foreign journals. And over 48 of my articles are in Scopus Index journals. So in academics, we rate ourselves with the number we have published in Scopus. Scopus is, is the indexing body that tells one journal from journal. So the best journals are rated in Scopus. So I have 48 articles there. And all this while, I've been part of the growth and development of Delsu. So I have dreams that will build on past the achievements of past administrations. So these dreams are captured in my vision, while my mission is the implementation blueprint. This will be captured in the strategic plan of the university. Developing the strategic plan. So before I came on board in this job, I thought about this university. I did a SWOT analysis. We have a lot of faculty, facilities. We have qualified staff. Of course, also we have weaknesses. And we have opportunities here in the Niger Delta. We have a lot of companies, fire companies, maritime industry, and so on and so forth. And we are in a state that values education, unlike other states. Delta states values education. Our parents will do anything to send our children to school, or like in other parts. So we took all this into account, in coming out with our vision and mission. So this vision and mission will leverage on Delsu's strengths, address its weaknesses, capitalize on opportunities, and mitigate threats from emerging universities, particularly in Delta states. Now, let us look at our vision. The position is to position Delsu as a leading university renowned for academic excellence, research, and diversity, driven. And of course, we take care of our social responsibility and we'll be able to compete globally. Then the mission statement of this administration is to transform Delsu through high-quality education, sustainable development, strong governance, innovation and ICT, and inclusive stakeholder engagement. So, to carry out this vision and the mission, remember the mission is implementation blueprints. So I have several goals under my implementation blueprints, and one of them is enhancing education and research. So, under this goal, we will prioritize high-quality education and impactful research. You will all agree with me that we hope to engage people in the industry to come and lecture under special circumstances and also partner with local and foreign universities. Then the second goal is enhancing global competitiveness and technology. So by this, we want to improve Delsu's global ranking. The past administration have done well in this. So we are going to improve on this by forming partnerships with global institutions. So we reach out to local and foreign universities in this regard. Then ICT is another important area that will include all of our records, like our students' records, staff records, especially in terms of processing of results. Up to now, we are still doing manual processing of our results, but very soon it will be a thing of the past. Then, support. In other spheres, the ICT help to drive the teaching and learning process, new experience. So the third goal is sustainable infrastructural development. So we will be guided by the University Master Plan. This is the permanent site of the university, this site 3. Unfortunately, in recent time we have not been following the Master Plan, so we want to do something about that. We follow the Master Plan so that the aesthetics of this site 3 will be highly improved by the time I leave office. And also another area we're going to look at is we have facilities, lecture halls, labs, workshops, and offices, but they are not enough. And many are already in the dilapidated state. So we are going to renovate most of these lecture halls. We are going to provide more. You can see that you are sitting now. It's looking very pleasant. These are the kind of things we want to replicate all over this campus. So all of this will come, I will speak more on this when we come to the later part of this press conference. Then water and electricity are very essential. Right now, we don't have an integrated water supply system. We don't have holes all over water supply. And as for electricity, we also now, 33 kVA, courtesy of the last administration, holding for power. And we spend close to 50 or another 60 million for even diesel. I think that's more than 100 million. So that is too much for us to bear. So we tend to look at other sources and inclusive leadership in this university. Everybody will be carried along. So that we create strong staff and student committees. The university is run by committees. So the committee system will be adopted as a style of administration. We also promote financial integrity and efficiency. In terms of financial sustainability, the areas we are going to look at is to diversify by reorganizing and expanding the scope of the Delsu Investment Limited. So the Delsu Investment Limited is the business arm of the university. For some time now, we share the profits with them. That will be part of the MOU until we own it completely. Other areas also want to look at is expanding our pre-degree programs, DUPED, and the testing degree program. These are the source of revenue, so we expand it, make it more friendly. It used to be huge source of revenue, especially the limited degree program for this university, and along the line it was closed down. So getting it back to its former glory has been difficult. So we do our best to address this area. So we also expand our affiliate degree programs. We run affiliate degree programs, we call it education, alcohol, which people that have the qualified staff should run postgraduate programs. There are new faculties. We are on the verge of opening new faculties. So we tend to open a faculty of environmental science, computer science, allied health science, because we believe that the more our student population, the more is our revenue. And the only business we have here is education. So why can we also look at that we bring us money? We have a business school in Asaba, so we tend to open another business school in Warri, capture potential students in the Saturday, Ughelli, and Warri as. In other universities, if you go to Newport, Niger Delta, we enjoy this possibility where we will get them to partner with us, either funding our research capabilities or funding provision of facilities for us. Then, a very critical area that is also connected in sustaining our finance is looking at our funding strategies. Some of the funding strategies we look at will be in the area of constituting an endowment and foundation incidents of theft in recent time. And one area that we can promote this is to ensure that there is inclusive, equitable, and diverse appointments. So when we believe with this, we can have a peaceful and secure learning environment. Now, this is my vision and vision in a nutshell. What's the journey so far? So, gentlemen of the press, I am changing the narrative at Delsu. We have no choice but to hit the ground running. And so far, when I came on board, I went on the familiarization visits to the faculties and some other units. And this is to engage directly with the staff, and it has been very informative because I have collected insights that will shape my plans or vision for Delsu. The next thing I have done since assuming office is making some strategic appointments. We have appointed 2 deputy vice chancellors. One of them is here, Professor Hillary Obama, signed up to the recognize. I think he's a young man. He's only 42 years old. Because I believe in the youth, I want to give them a chance. And this guy, I can see here, has been described as a machine. So he works very, very hard. So he deserves an appointment. The second DVC is here, Professor Akako. Please can you stand up to the recognize. The higher the height, the more humble he is. He's a very humble guy, very meticulous, highly experienced. And directors of various directorates. And the focus of this appointment is on competence, diversity, equity, and youth inclusion. As you can see from the DVC and many of the directors that are appointed. Some of them are not listed appointments since they were appointed, since they took up appointments in this. They have not had any other appointment, maybe administrative appointment or so on and so forth. Even one of the youthful fellow appointed told me that VC, God bless you, that giving me an opportunity to serve, that I've never had this opportunity, that the university has been recycling and recycling programs. I said yes, that is one of my focus, to bring much of the youth there on board. Creation of new centers.
The Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor Ukuma Ade, the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Orton Akwanoje, and the Dean of the Faculty of Social Science, with your kind permission, please permit me to invite the music department to...
Gathered here for this lecture today, we pray that let us set the lacking behind in advancement in technology. We pray that you constantly strengthen us and strengthen our frontiers to become well standing in all that we do through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Has been constituted for the purpose of the 17th Convocation inaugural lecture. Thank you very much.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, for constituting the Assembly for the 17th Convocation Lecture of the Delta State University, Abraka. Vice Chancellor, the University Orator, Professor Mrs. Enajite Ojarega, to read the citation of the Convocation Lecturer, Professor Emeritus Peter Okebukola.
By the University Registrars, I want to read the citation of our Convocation Lecture. Born on 17 February 1948 in Ilesha, Osun State, Professor Peter Akinshola Okebukola may hail from the heart of southwestern Nigeria, but it was in the deltaic town of Sapele at St. Malachi's College that his educational voyage truly set sail. To invite the eminent, inspirational, visionary. Thank
you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our registrar has rendered the protocol list, and I would like to adopt that protocol list. But I'd like to recognize the Chair of Council of Delta State University, Abraka, General. Sir, you have served the nation well. You have served Africa well. You were Chief of Defense while I was Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission. While the little overlap, I was in AUC as Executive Secretary between 2001 and 2006. That's 24 years ago. You were Chief of Defense between 2003 and 2006. So I especially salute
the national cancellation of all flights, on Air Peace from Wednesday till as I speak. Here with you. However, the joyful news is that Vice Chancellor Penny Yaku, that I gave this lecture, that this lecture will be streamed live, and I'm here live and direct. All these lectures share my thoughts with you. I said by the very wonderful university orator. I must say that Africa's AI responsive universities. I had the honor of visiting the 7th Convocation lecture on September 6, 2012 on human security. I was invited by Senator Fonfu, the Vice Chancellor of our great university, Delsu, my good friend. Only about 3 months ago, I was at the same hall, to deliver a keynote address on artificial intelligence. And just before then, to give a good message at the Sagba will be the best VC we have ever had. Professor Sagba has shown much humility in relating with me, and he can be assured that God will elevate him. That, look, you can't escape from God's law, you cross around. The VC's job is not how much you can, but how much God can. It's my prayer that the great God of heaven and earth will be with you every day of your tenure and give you 100% success. Now, as such outstanding vice chancellors, the officers in the chain of command in Delsu, provost, dean, central department, and units, alongside some individual members of the AIP. Unfortunately, the flight crew. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since this is a convocation lecture, let me congratulate the graduating students who will be receiving the certificate of Delsu Abraka tomorrow. It's often the case to reserve such words of congratulations to the end of the lecture. This time it will be at the beginning. You know, of course, graduates and graduates. You know, I said graduates of tomorrow. University tradition dating back to about 1002 AD is that when the person who is to receive the degree walks into the hall, like you're going to walk into the hall tomorrow, you are labeled graduate. You haven't been a graduate, not physical, you are a graduate. And then when the dean calls you up and the chancellor says, you know, as a Christian, during the rapture, you like talking of an eye. Look at, if I told my eye like that, as fast as that. So when the chancellor says, I admit you all, that instant, that label goes up. You now become a graduate. So that's the difference. And also, the tassel, this one here, see, this is my left hand. The tassel, this thing, when you are not a graduate, it stays on the right. But the moment you are now admitted, you are now a graduate, it goes to your left. This is my left. So I saw some people in the hall just now, they have their tassels on the right and they are graduates. Please and please, Delta State University is number 1 in the world. Don't let us taboo that are graduates. You are wearing, the officers I can see the room, wearing your tassel on the right, the other side. Yeah, please change it to that. And some people at the back, hey, that will go up, please. So that's it that has prepared you to be leaders, innovators, and change makers. As we step into the next chapter of the spirit of curiosity, determination, and integrity that will find the Delsu community. The one that goes to challenge ideas and contributions after your NYC year, whether you are venturing into the lecture and as you can see and has been well mentioned over the last several minutes, we're looking at doing an AI university recognition on AI in high school. Vice chancellors, deputy vice chancellors, treasurer, humanity, PICTs, and all of them, they are the staff from Delta State University, attributes of the nature, turned out to be among the top 2%. They did so well among about one education. So these are the definitions that we had. And finally, artificial intelligence as a machine one like human being, mimic human intelligence. For capabilities, you are what you call the narrow artificial intelligence. Narrow here, that's where we are. We never reach the others. We still be for that narrow one. But we are fast moving on to the general AI. Super AI, we don't know, but it will happen. This is a process we are going to be in big trouble. Big trouble when this thing comes to us. And agents, and then there's agents. How does it know what? Look, some knowledge gives, and they will give the algorithm. Somebody calls and tell the person, say, oh, what do you want? And this or that and that. I know this one I want, this is the next step that you have to take. Or I want to say, and I thank God you are going to set me leading from chairman of council of government. That one, something else. I gave the keynote address at one of the conferences of the Science Association of Nigeria, and we're looking at the future of AI. And I did say that, look, the battles that we fought may not be by human agents. In fact, that's even on now. Drones, robotics are all taking over. But by the time you are going to send it, you will have a mind of its own. Nobody's going to send it. It will send itself, and it will destroy the person that has deployed it. So this is hypothetical for now. Let's take the grand classification for humanities: reactive machine, limited memory, theory of mind, self-awareness. So where are we? This is a vice chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Where are we? AI deployment and harvesting schedule. This is done routinely in Israel. It's done routinely in several other countries. So you don't need to now carry water, say you go for supply, you won't go for your farm, the rain no fall, you don't carry water. No, nothing like that. The nutrients that, the micronutrients that the plant, a particular plant requires, the amount of water that it requires, and feed it exactly what it requires, not just pouring everything. Or the crop monitoring, weather prediction, automated harvesting, soil health monitoring, predictive pest control. Those are all. Let's look at medicine. We have a college of medicine in Delsu, and they are all doing very well, and they are applying some of the. The model that's AI driven, they show this to them. It has a knowledge base of thousands, hundreds, millions of the images, and then the diagnosis. Yes, it really so. When you see this thing, the algorithm. When you see this one, this is the thing. So you also need that gives you very accurately some diagnosis, enhanced accuracy in radiology. Compass simulation, communication, better assistance. I'm going to go very fast now. These are that's all driving cars. Bring this one to Lagos, and this or department or unit is fed. And indeed, all of us in this room are using AI as I speak, in one form or the other. Either on your phone or in what process you are typing something in Microsoft Word, and it will be telling you these are the things you go say, okay, let me put this. I'm correcting your grammar, correcting giving you predictive text. And what about you are asked to write something, you now consult the AI agent, and it gives you some suggestions. And for the suggestions, you can now build your ideas. So no area is spared. This says okay, now let's look at the future, because after I finish with this now, I'm not going to go to
something that is concrete relating to building an AI-ready workforce. I thought I could just even 5 years from now, we are just going to be wasting your time. You know why? Because the predictive model I think about, we did that. Why? Because look, we are looking at artificial intelligence, and we are thinking that Nigeria in 2050, Nigeria is going to have minimum of 400 million in population. What is thought most populous country where, not in Africa, in the world. And if that is so, how do we feed the people? How do we ensure their health security? How do we, for the citizens, how do we maintain our mega cities? So you can see some of these things in housing. So we have this. That's why I said 2050 as the year that I want to be looking at. So what workforce would Nigeria need by 2050? In the lecture that you are going to get, you're going to get a copy. Sure, if you can't get, just wait for when our VC will get a lecture text uploaded to our website of Delsu. So I provided the quantum of the workforce that will be needed for 2050. Productivity and economic activity. For instance, the workforce at Delsu, Abraka, is the total number, or the campus is the total number of teaching and non-teaching staff in the university currently in service. Now, as we move towards 2050, Nigeria's workforce will need to evolve significantly to meet the demands of a rapidly growing population and the challenges of an increasingly complex global economy. With over 400 million people by that year, 2050, Nigeria will require a dynamic, well-educated, and highly skilled workforce. The demand for labor will not only stem from population growth, but also from technological advancements, urbanization, and the global shift towards green energy and digital economies. Now, so what's the role of artificial intelligence? By the way, for all the 17 sectors that I've identified, we have projected up to 2050 how many skilled workers Nigeria will need in education, in health, security, and the rest. You'll get that in the, it's not entrepreneurship, which kind you're yet to do that. Delta State, you are the best. The thing is, oh yeah, I can see, that's the thing I can see is right here. It's ontro. Go and find out. Just go pronunciation, Google. Talk to Mr. Google. Lock the door. Mr. Google, how do you pronounce, say pronunciation? Entrepreneurship. We change. Entrepreneurship, not entrepreneurship. When I hear that, my body is shaking. So, this is a very so you should apply the AI skills in registered. In this lecture, we took a quick look at some of the digital definitions of AI and crafted the working definition. And then we looked at projected and skilled workforce in Nigeria in different sectors of 2050, and then we examined strategies for education, big transport. So don't let us be left behind. Delsu, don't be left behind. Be in front and lead the revolution. A Delta State lead the revolution in Nigeria. With a projected population of over 400 million, Nigeria will face both profound challenges and incredible opportunities, especially in sectors like healthcare, education, security, agriculture, and urban development. Rapidly in history for Nigeria to emerge as a global player in the digital age. However, this growth cannot occur without deliberate strategic investment in 24 years experience. So we're going to do this, and I'd like to predict that Delta State University, under the Vice Chancellorship of Professor Samuel,
bring to a close this congregation that has been constituted for the purpose of the 17th Convocation lecture close. Thank you very much. registrars from sister institutions. Registrars from sister institutions across the state and across the country. The registrars are followers from sister institutions across the country. Vice chancellors are followed by members of the governing council of Delsu State University. And therefore to have the Executive Secretary National Universities Commission, NUC, Ojarega. And then of course we have members of the State Executive Council, Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council of the Delsu State University, Abraham General Alexander Ogomudia, retired. Professor Yero Tolokari. Professor Yero Tolokari is followed by Elder Sheriff Francis Oboyoweri. The Delsu State University, Abraham.
Visitor, Delsu State University, Abraka, His Excellency Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Francis Oboyoweri, His Excellency the Deputy Governor of Delta State, Sir Monday Oyene, Honorable Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly, my Lord Chief Judge of Delta State, Lord President Delta State Customary Court of Appeal, distinguished senators and honorable members of National Assembly, honorable members, Delta State House of Assembly, honorable members, Delta State Executive Council, Secretary to the State Government, Head of Service of Delta State, Vice Chancellor, Delsu, other Pro-Chancellors and Vice Chancellors present, Secretary to National University Commission, the Royal Majesties, the Lord Spiritual and Temporal, gentlemen of the press, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Government Council, Management, Senate, staff and students of Delta State University Africa, I heartily welcome the Governor and Visitor, His Excellency Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Francis Oboyoweri, and his entourage to the 17th Convocation ceremony of our university. I also welcome the various dignitaries who have considered it important to honor our invitation to this noble ceremony. While we appreciate the presence of His Excellency in our midst, let me use this opportunity to thank him for his assistance to the university since his adoption of office as Governor of Delta State in May 2023. It is important to note that in spite of various sectors competing for the attention of the state government, His Excellency has always met his responsibility in staff salaries in the university. Point out to his commitment and sincerity in the pursuit of education in the state. This is in line with His Excellency's war agenda and whose objectives are tied to a better and improved education for citizens of Delta State.
In this invest. Then 3, give approval for employment of much needed academic and non-teaching staff in areas of great shortages. Then provision to further boost the existing revolving Carlo scheme for staff of the university. Then also funds for capital projects and funds for staff training. And yes, we have not had any assistance from the government. It is when the present governor came on board that we had 18 million given to us for research. It has never happened for the past 15 years. Thank you, Your Excellency, sir. It is also important to state as a reminder to His Excellency that the University Council is in touch with the state government with a view to ensuring that the backlog of unpaid 2020 salary arrears of staff are attended to as soon as possible. Your Excellency, sir, we must at this point recognize your unflagging determination to institutionalize entrepreneurship and self-employment-oriented education, rural rejuvenation, agricultural and industrial transformation, and economic prosperity through your more agenda. We also appeal to well-meaning Nigerians, especially Deltans, to see this institution as theirs and invest in infrastructure that will be named after them. The Delta state government alone cannot continue to meet the needs of this university if it is to remain a center of excellence in teaching, learning, and research, innovation, and provision of public service. Higher education should be the collective responsibility of all, and we must be involved in its funding for the benefit of all. Conclusion. Let me at this junction express my heartfelt appreciation to the governor and visitor to the university, His Excellency Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Francis Oboromiri, for timelessly approving and announcing my appointment on 23rd October 2024 as the 8th substantive vice chancellor of the Delta State University. Indeed, I am ineffably grateful as this no doubt has provided me with the opportunity to contribute my modest quota to the growth and development of tertiary education. An idea which to me was a mere dream, but now a practical reality through the executive act of His Excellency, though in line with the edict establishing the university. Thank you very much, sir. At this junction, we heartily acknowledge the supportive roles of the Delta State Traditional Council, particularly the chairman and other esteemed traditional rulers from the host communities of the Delta State University. We also appreciate other stakeholders, especially those who have instituted various awards for our granders. This is but an index of their untiring commitment towards the development of the Delta State University, philanthropy personified. To all stakeholders, I assure you that the Delta State University, in compliance with its vision and mission statements, will continue to provide qualitative education in terms of research and innovation, teaching and learning to its students and the society in general. To our dear drivers, I affirm that
on our reading list. Could you please kindly step forward? If not, may I move? Okay, we have coming along Professor John Obori of our sister university in...
Please, Professor Jacob Snap Obori.
Thank you. Professor Jacob Snap Obori. You're welcome, sir, and thank you so very much for gracing our occasion. We'd also like to acknowledge quickly our visiting provosts and rectors. And first on the list, we have Professor Emmanuel Ufofu Biri, one of our own, that he is the provost of Delta State Polytechnic, Otefe. Thank you. Vice Chancellor, Western Delta University, just presented his own goodwill message. Thank you very much for coming. We also like to invite quickly Professor James Okoro, one of our own here, but seconded and working working and serving as the rector of Delta State Maritime. Okay, sorry. Oh, pleased to have you, ma'am. Okay, so we have also presenting her own goodwill message on behalf of the Vice Chancellor of Dennis Osadebe University. Thank you very much, ma'am. We also have Federal University of. Thank you very much, being represented and presenting their goodwill message. We also have here Professor James Okoro, Rector of the Delta State Maritime Polytechnic. We also have Professor Duke Okoro.
In the name of the Faculty of Agriculture and by the authority of Senate, and those absent for sufficient cause, as listed in the order of proceedings, who have been found worthy both in capacity and record.
By the authority of Senate, I admit you all.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor.
The Vice Chancellor, sir. In the name of the Faculty of Arts and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the persons standing and those absent for sufficient, both in character and in learning, to be admitted to the degrees of Bachelor of Arts of the Delta State University, Abraka.
By the authority of Senate, I admit you all.
Thank you.
Of Basic Medical Sciences, and by the authority of Senate, I present to you the persons standing and those found worthy, both in character and in learning, to be admitted to the degrees of Bachelor of Nursing Science, Bachelor of Science in Human Physiology, Medical Biochemistry, Pharmacology and Human Anatomy and Cell Biology of the Delta State University, Abraka.
Yeah, thank you. By the authority of Senate, I admit you all.
Deserving of the award of this prestigious honorary doctorate degree by the Delta State University, Abraka, may I now respectfully invite the Vice Chancellor to confer on him this honor. The Vice Chancellor will be assisted by the DVC admin and account. Please step forward. Thank you.
By the powers proper to honorary degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa of the Delta State University, Abraka. Congratulations.
Community Isokolo Agbon Kingdom Echo East Local Government Delta State, Nigeria. I want to thank first and foremost His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Oborori, the Executive Governor of Delta State, the Vice Chancellor, the Chairman of Governing Council.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, please sit down. Chief Justice Iburi, who is here represented by Professor Austin Ikelibi, Vice Chancellor, Western Delta University, Ulara. The Deputy Speaker, Senior Political Advisor, Chairman of Echo East Local Government Council, Chairman, Governing Council, our leader, General Alexander Gumudia, and other members of the Governing Council, the VC, Delsu, Professor Samuel Oyenobu Asinga, head of other institutions present, DVCs and management of Delsu, Executive Secretary, NUC, and real fathers here present, led by the region of Open, Chairman of the National Council, our spiritual leaders, graduates, honorable, they are here. Let me especially recognize the three persons I was giving her the degree today. The person of Chief Dr. Mordik Aligodi, High Chief Dr. Itai Nauru, and Professor Jairi. Families and friends of graduates, the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with joy and a sense of pride that I address you today. Joy because this is a day of celebration and excitement, enthusiasm, and sheer exuberance of the day, and to say the least, probably. Pride because, as governor and visitor to this great institution, I know with pleasure that Delta State University, Abraka, has continued to excel in its stated mission to provide quality education to our citizens. The university commitment to academic excellence, innovation, and leadership is therefore appropriate in changing situations. What are problems we see in the world today are opportunities for growth, especially in a growing economy like ours. The opportunities are there if you will dare to dream. My second advice to you is to keep learning. Graduation does not mean the end of learning. It simply means you are now responsible for your learning. So I urge you to invest in your personal development by reading fast.